All right, good morning, cyber traders, and welcome back again. The last day of the pay period. It is Tuesday, an exciting day because we're going to have phase 3 that's going on. I know you had traders talk with Josh yesterday, and the most exciting part about it, what happened to Wolf yesterday? Oh my God, this stock was up about 1,000%, and it's up again today. It's going on the Fausto list. It was a great swing overnight trade. For some of you that take the classes, know when you day trade versus when you do a swing trade. Remember, it's done into design. That's the reason why we do these types of trades. And you could see it strong going into the close, right in the middle of the day. Boom. Stock went from 22 all the way to 35. And you know what's the funny part about Wolf? We kind of joke about it, but in a way that we trade this stock just not too long ago, just the beginning of September and July. And, it's like, oh, we got a new animal stock, because we don't really call companies by their actual physical name. We spell it out the way it is with those 4-letter symbols. So Wolf should stick out like a sore thumb for some of you and should be very familiar with it. And also, if you did trade with us and were students with ours, you know that when you're a student, we teach you how to do your journals. You should have went back to your journals. You should know a little bit about it and so on. Now, is this stock? First of all, it was the dumbest news that came out on it. Something about an offering, whatever it is. We'll post it we posted it in the room, and we'll talk a little about it later. But it's so weird how the news comes out on these stocks, and they're not even like anything. It's hard to interpret what it really, really means. The only thing I think a lot of us could take into consideration and where we could actually physically say the stock is worth that price when it's a buyout and, and they say, oh, we bought it, and they give you a number. But you see some of, right, Grant and Michael and, Nabella. I mean, you guys have been here for a while. Lita, you've been here for a while. We read some of these news on. We're like, that's really the news that made the stock run. Well, the reason why it is that some people are very short. And you got to remember, there are a lot of people that short stocks in this industry, and it does cause a short squeeze. So, you might look at it like you can't see how a stock can go from $1.19 and then go up to about 3,000% up to $35 and wondering why. And can this stop? Who knows? We've seen stocks like this go to 100, 200, right? And what was one of them? OCTO. Remember that one right there? OCTO. That was a classic right here. Same thing. Looks exactly almost the same. This stock was $1.50, ran to $80. There was a lot of them out there that we traded. Anyway, a couple other stocks that are moving pretty strong. We're going to talk about them. CRE is moving up really, really nice too. We're going to talk about that too. Very cheap little stock. But let's talk about what happened yesterday. So there were a lot of stocks that did really well. Hood has just been on an animal. This thing is going to really benefit from the day trading rule. Okay. Remember, breaking news, the day trading rule, they're eliminating it. It used to be 25,000. They're going to bring it down to like 2,000. And companies like Hood, Schwab, all of these, maybe even Bull might benefit, are going to benefit big time because it's going to open up a lot of people here that could not day trade to now day trade. And you don't have to worry about the one-day day trading rule, the overnight rule. A lot's going to help. So Wolf is still strong. I know a lot of you guys did pretty well. That's been a great swing trade. Back in April, $20 stock to $135. This thing has been on our list all day long. A couple other stocks out there that did pretty well. iBit. So iBit also, crypto stocks have done really well. We trade the ETFs. That did really well yesterday. I know a lot of you guys jumped into that stock. Shop, another nice middle of the day, 1 o'clock mover. So for some of you can't be here in the mornings or the afternoons, maybe you work during lunchtime. Shop was great. Shopify went from 141 to 148. You know, even if it's a $140 stock, if you bought 100 shares, it's $14,000. You still could have made $800 on it. You know, if you bought 10 shares, you know, you could have done that too. So there's always money out there to be made where you don't have to trade a lot of shares of it. BKKT, very nice little stock, $18 stock. Just started moving up to 1030, had another big lunch mover. It got close to that resistance levels. I was a little more concerned about the July numbers, right around 25, but it looks like it broke it. Wolf, we already know about. BQ was another very crazy moving stock too right there. $2 to $14. That thing just got halted. It moved up also, big mover in the morning and also right at 11 o'clock. I mean, it was just probably one of the better Mondays, which we don't really like Mondays, but it was a great, great Monday for stock. Just two more I want to bring up here. Pot stocks also did pretty well. ACB, Tilray, TLRY also. Pot stocks also are doing pretty well. Also very cheap, very inexpensive. And Mara. Let's bring up that one. That one also, another nice little moving stock all day long from $9.30, from $16 up to $18. Not a big, big winner, not the 100, 200% movers or the 1,000% movers that we're used to, but it did move up pretty nice. Well, anyway, guess what? Today's a brand new day. So in a brand new day here, we turn the page and we're going to look at some new stocks because there are new ones every single day. Good morning to you too, Phil. New trial member in there. Hope you're enjoying it, Phil. And hopefully you're going to learn a lot in every trial member here. And hopefully you'll be part of the team. So let's go through some of the stocks and see what's moving this morning. So we got this CRE that's moving up. Another very inexpensive stock. I'm going to bring up level 4 over here. You could see right here that the stock had some big orders that were filling up right around 90 cents. Got a big order right here in pre-market for 24,000 at 115. We're going to put this on the list right here, CRE. And let's go down the list. This stock had, I guess, I don't know if it was an earnings announcement or a big announcement, but EPOW, big pop right at the market close right there. But you saw on the back downtrend. I'll put this on the B list. SPRC, another one after our run up, popped up, came back down, kind of flat over here. Not really what we're looking for. We were looking for stocks that have a trend, that have a push, like we see here on the CRE when they go up like that. We don't want stocks that are like going up and starting to trend down. We saw that yesterday. It happened. One of the stocks that we found, big gap up in the pre-market, and all of a sudden it came back down. Stark, STAK, cheap little stock up 31%, 11 million shares. And it's not really going anywhere right now, even though it's up pretty big. AIIO, an AI stock. This one's pushing up pretty nicely. Looks like it's not too old. Got a good spread. Not bad. AIIO. Let's go see if I do have it here on level 4. Let's see if we see any iceberg orders anywhere. Got a big one here for 340. A couple here at 220. You got this big one right here pushing it down at 250 for about 21,000. But we got a nice ladder effect over here. We're going to learn that today in class right there. Ladder effect. So that pushed it up from 225 all the way up to about 250. So a nice little level 1 stock right there. Let's keep going down that list. IBG, down a downtrend, not interested. DPRO, this one's pushed up and it's kind of flat right here, making a 52-week high. Looks like it has a good spread, 14 million shares. DPRO, kind of like that one, but trend is resistance at $8.50, $8. CRWG, this is basically the ETF. What else we got here? APM, this one's moving up pretty nicely. Volume is really low. Looks like it just started moving. I don't know. I remember that stock. We traded back here on July. It ran from like 90 cents to about $4, $1.04. We'll put this on the list. APM. Maybe it'll do the same thing like it did last time. MSS, this is the other one like from yesterday, big run up and it came crashing down. That was a beautiful short squeeze. Great short squeeze on that one. APM, that's what we already know about. Seed, we trade the stock before. Tradable, not really moving though. All right, let's go check out. So this is the ETF of the one that we just saw. So CRWV, Corway, too expensive. You know, we want to still do things a little cheaper. You know what I mean? All right. Wolf is on that list. We already know it's there. Pat, this thing is moving up pretty nicely right here too. A lot of great orders right here. Look at this big order. Big seller got done here at 15. Now he became, remember, sellers become buyers. Okay. You break a ceiling, the ceiling becomes a new floor when you're above it. So you can see that 15 right there is a pretty big buyer right there, about 50,000 shares. So Path, I'll put this on the list. Path is going to be our day trading stock. If anyone didn't trade it already in pre-market, this is the other CRWV ETF, another ETF. A lot of ETFs on that stock. It's so funny that they have ETFs. The stock trades on the Nasdaq, but they'll make ETFs on the New York. Okay, this is kind of weird how they do that. QS, we trade the stock a few times. Quantum stocks, looks like they're moving this morning, maybe. All right. TLYS, nah. NBY, everybody remembers this stock right here. We trade that stock. That was fun stock going to August, September. Every day it was moving up, but she's on the big losers list, so we're not interested. We made good money with that one too. Been a good swing trade for us. Looks like now it's starting to back off. Novax, we saw that one too yesterday. It looks like KOLD is down. That means that whatchamacallit, Boyle will be up, right? If that's down, this is up. Yep, Boyle's up. I don't know. Boyle took a huge hit. I don't know if it's coming back here. All right, so I think we're pretty much done. Brand name stocks, listen. Tesla had a nice little run. It's moving. We got that big seller still sitting there at 450. Look, he's still there. He's holding strong. NVIDIA's got some good moves this morning, but we got the big sellers sitting there, 190, 185. They're still holding strong. You can see it right there. Big resistance levels right there. All right. So brand names, not too much, not too much going on out there. You can see here a lot of bleeding going on here on my list. So we'll see how things work out with everything else. But you don't need brand names to make money today. So anyway, let's get ready for the market opened up. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Remember, today is phase 3. It's the final phases of the classes. We're going to meet the morning and the afternoon. This way you're going to trade live with me if you're a student. This is for everyone that's gold and higher. So if you want to get in that class and you don't have access to it, talk to Education Advisor and we'll get you in it. It's the most important class where, remember, it's not about the winners, it's about controlling the losers. If you're watching on social media and you do want to join our trading floor, we are here all day long. There's that QR code. Take your phone, scan it, or just go to www.ctu.co/free and we'll allow you to get in there. And if you're a new trial member, like always, just look, listen, and learn. All right. Now, remember, what you saw in the past is not always indicative of the future. Every day is a new day. So forget about what happened yesterday. Let's start today. And whatever you're going to miss today, there's always tomorrow. But Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are the most exciting days. And also to remind everybody, it's going to be this is the last day of the pay period, which for some of you have to understand, traders don't like to go into the new month. They like to close out their books profitable, just like any other company. So don't get too cocky today. I don't like days how they end in the middle of the week. Wednesday starts a new day. Yom Kippur starts. So it is a big Jewish holiday also. Market is still open, but usually on Jewish holidays, because we have a very big Jewish community here in New York, a lot of people do work on Wall Street. We'll see if it's going to be a very active market or not. But we do have a very big, busy October. We got the money show where me and Josh are going to be. We got on-site going on. We got a ton of podcasts that are going on. So remember, I told you, September, October, November are the busiest months of the year to trade. Okay. So And it is our busiest time at Cyber Trade University. So we got to learn before we could earn. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere, everybody. All right. And for everyone, like I said, you want to join the trading floor, just click on that. If you're watching on social media, we're here all day. Just click on that QR code. All right, guys. Good luck. We'll see you in class.